we saw the fact that the real estate was going to have a nice upswing. And we were, we're entrepreneurs, right? We're opportunists. We want to capture trends. That's what we do. And so we decided, we put together this event-driven organization. And what we did was we said, well, if Robert Kiyosaki is good, and Russ Whitney's good, and Carlton Sheets is good, and all these guys are good, and they all sell their individual product, let's go ahead and build one event and have them all in it. So we thought that was a great idea, right? So we wrote the business plan, went to work and did it. 2 years in, I'm OCD. Matter of fact, they make fun of me. They call me CDO because it's in order. You'll hear that. And I accept that, because it's probably pretty true. But I measure everything, and one of my great mentors taught me a long time ago, if you don't measure it, you can't manage it. So we measure everything, and we ask for individuals to give us their feedback. When somebody comes to one of the educational experiences, we want to know, did it help you? Did it feel good? Did you learn? Was it powerful? Was it something you really felt like you got value? And 2 years in, this isn't working like that? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go. 2 years in, we measured the students at an event. And we asked a simple question. We asked, based on our education, have you utilized it by purchasing a real estate investment property? Did you buy something? You've come to all these classes, you've learned all this stuff. Did you buy something other than your own primary residence? That was a bad day. Less than 11%.
Wow.
I went home that night, and I don't get depressed. And I was depressed. I was like, oh my gosh. How do you have a business with a long-term future when the product you're selling isn't helping more than 11% of the people? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I'm thinking, okay, what do entrepreneurs do when they're faced with a situation like that? What do we do?
Keep going.
Yeah, we're looking for a solution, right? I mean, we're searching, right? If it doesn't work, what's next? How do we modify the business plan? We had the best educators, they had the best philosophies and theories, and they were teaching all these great things. Why was it that people weren't learning? So what do we entrepreneurs do? We go find the expert. We go seek out knowledge. Where we don't have the knowledge, we seek out the knowledge, and that's what we did. We went and found a PhD from San Diego State that received his PhD in education. He spent the vast majority of his life learning how humans learn.
Learning how humans learn.
Learning how humans learn. I mean, think about it. How many of you guys had any schooling in past high school? Anything? Any seminars, anything? Okay. So if you've experienced higher education in any format at all, you understand what I'm going to share with you. There is a science to learning. There's a way they take a 15-year-old child, or a 16-year-old child, or a 17-year-old child, and as they advance through high school and into college, and 8 years after they graduate from college, they're a brain surgeon. Now think about that. The vast amount of knowledge that they have to acquire in a very short period of time to operate on your brain. They do that because over many, many, many decades, almost a century now, we have studied the human brain and how we retain information. And there's a science called instructional systems design. So I just found this out. So I go to Dr. Paul Ripicki at the time, and I sit down and I say, why isn't this working? He said, Jim, it's real simple. You're teaching a subject matter. You have X amount of people in the room. Some of those are interested, some aren't. Some are able to retain it because they have the baseline information that's required for them to take the education to the next level. Right? So my retention gets chopped down with every piece of that. So the solution was what? Everybody thinks, wow, you did something amazing. You guys developed something incredible. You cracked the code. All these other seminar companies, God bless them. I mean, they have great information. These guys are the best of the best. Kiyosaki, I love Robert Kiyosaki. He's got great information. All these guys are amazing. But what they don't have is they don't have the science of how to teach us. And let me take you back and give you a real good example of why this is true. When you went to that college class, that higher education class, and you studied, let's call it economics. Pick a subject, any subject, but economics. The person that wrote the textbook is not the person that taught the class. Right? The person that taught the class is taught how to teach. The person that taught the class goes through schooling and gets a teaching certificate and learns how to present the information, deal with people of all different kinds of, acumens and what have you. That's a teacher, right? The person that wrote the book is an instructional systems designer that knows how to build a syllabus in an order in which you can retain information. We start with a baseline, call it a glossary of terms. Understand all these terms, and then we're going to add a little complexity to it. And then a little bit more, a little bit more, and a little bit more. And what happens is when you develop a curriculum based on science, and you have somebody that knows how to teach it, guess what happens? You learn. You learn rapidly, and you retain the information. So I'm going to ask you guys a question, just in general. Pick a hobby, pick a subject, pick whatever you're interested in. When you're interested in something, when you like to do something, do you do it more often?
Yes.
Right. And as you do it more often, you become better at it?
Yes.
Right. As you become better at it, do you gain more confidence?
Yes.
And when you gain more confidence,
You do more of it.
do you more of it?
Yeah.
And you win.
Yeah.
That's how you win. It wasn't that the information was bad. It wasn't. These are good people. They just want to give you everything. They want to pour their heart out. They want to teach you everything. But the thing they were missing was the textbook writer. Right? They're the teacher, not the writer. All we did was copied Harvard. We're not all that smart. We just copied a protocol that has been perfected over decades, calling instructional systems design. First ones ever to do it. And then we said, you know what, might be a good idea to see if there's, let's say an accrediting body that accredits third-party educational systems. And there is. And there was. So we said, well, we think we're pretty cool. Let's see if they think we're cool. Right? So we went to the American Council on Education. We said, gee, is this college credit worthy? Is it worthy of accreditation? And guess what? Surprised me, but they said yes. So we got the American Council on Education's college credit recommendation.
Yes.
A guy that gets a 2.7 in college now has, I don't know, I think I was just bored, to be honest. So, what we get to enjoy, that's the past. Of course, the bubble burst, and I was inside of it. Humbling, at least. But now, I'm hanging out building a technology company. It's about a year plus ago. And stay in touch with all the wonderful people that I met through the previous experience. And one day I get a call from this really cool dude that I just love to death, and one of my favorite people back in the Nouveau days, by the name of Chris Record.
Yeah.
And he calls me up and he goes, "Hey, Pick, what are you doing?" What do you mean? He said, "I got an idea. Will you meet me?" I said, "Always, right?" Because he's a powerhouse. He's a stud, man. He's amazing. He always has been just incredible. Was a great leader when he was still young and wet behind the ears. And I said, sure. So I met him in Las Vegas, and we sat down. He said, what if we took those same systems and methods and all that cool Disneyland stuff you did back at Nouveau that we loved so much, and what if we did it around internet marketing? You know what I said? I said, what's internet marketing? But I said that back in the real estate days because I knew nothing about real estate either. We built this wonderful college. I said, what's internet marketing? And you know, as we started to talk, it just made sense because the same thing's going on. We have this amazing industry, right, with all this wonderful tools, and man, you know, I had to get past the part where, you know, I had to understand that this internet thing wasn't a fad. I don't think it's a fad. I think it's going to be around, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I just saw a statistic recently about the number of access to the internet versus on mobile versus, you know, regular computers. You know, it's amazing. So we sat down, we went through the whole thing, and that's how the concept was born, from the need. Because Chris is a thought leader. He always has been. He's a savant. He always has been. He's extraordinary in more ways than I have time to explain. And when a savant, thought leader, sits down with you and says, what if you pay attention? And what if has turned into everybody in this room, everything that's going to happen at the JW Marriott, and an amazing future for the rest of you, because I've seen it. I've seen it happen. I've seen people walk in that were, you know, tradesmen, people that didn't have, a couple of guys that I know personally, good friends of mine, that, you know, because of circumstances, they didn't get a chance to finish high school, family situations, they had to go to work, you know. Hey, times are tough and they had to move on. They became some of the most successful real estate investors we had. They didn't go to college. They weren't born with a silver spoon. They weren't privileged in any way. They just were good people that had desire, that knew if the right opportunity came along, they would win. And that's what every one of you have to look forward to. You have forward, you have the opportunity here ahead of you. You will have the best education in this industry, bar none, because of the science. You will have the opportunity to attend a class that doesn't confuse you.
Oh. Wow.
Wow, what's your name?
Darlene.
Darlene, I love you. You're awesome, sweetheart. Wow. I don't know how to explain it any better than that. Wow. But you'll have paths, curriculum paths. You'll have an ROI-driven path. And if you like SEO, you'll say, okay, well, I have three choices. I can be a really good employee and go get a six-figure job at iCrossing and be an SEO strategist. And that's a path. Or you know what? I think I get a little bit of the E in me. I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to have my own agency. So I can build my own SEO agency. Or, hey, I get this stuff. I think I get it better than most do. And I think I want to be a speaker, trainer, coach and develop my own products and do my own product launches. That's one category, search engine optimization. What about SEM? What about search engine marketing? What about pay-per-click? What about e-commerce and Shopify? And there's so much opportunity, and all these classes right now are being developed with the ROI philosophy, so that when you go through the path, you will have an end result. If you choose to apply it, you will have a result that'll equal revenue. It's a little different than college. See, we went out and started looking at curriculums. We found a digital marketing curriculum. So I said, I gotta have it. We gotta look at it, we gotta analyze that. I took Jack Holloway, our chief learning officer. Jack and I worked together for about 15 years. I said, Jack, we gotta go see what's out there. Major universities have digital marketing degrees. Let's go check it out. So we did. The first class that came in for us to review was history of the internet. Who cares? Al Gore invented it. We know that. What else do we need to know, right? It doesn't tell me anything. I don't care what they do. I care. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said I don't care. I care. Kind of. You know? I want to know how I'm going to use this wonderful tool called the internet so that I can be an entrepreneur, build a business, be an entrepreneur, you know, either be an employee, an entrepreneur, or possibly even a speaker, trainer, coach. So the paths are going to be specific to that. For example, let me.
We lost
Mic out.
we can hear you.
Testing.
Oh, are you?
I'm really sorry.
Oh,
This is
no.
better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Must be the crystal.
What's that?
Must be the crystal.
That's what I'm saying. So, if you have a core competency, which let's call it SEO, because that's what we've been focused on. SEO, okay? You gotta learn about SEO. You gotta learn all the things about search engine optimization and how it works. Once you have that, you have the choices of three things. We'll do it again, okay? Employee, entrepreneur, or what? Speaker, trainer, coach. Good, you guys got it. What are the different tactical classes required to make sure that you execute on your core competency based on one of those three paths? So let's talk about number one, employee. We're going to have classes that are going to assist you in building a better resume, in interviewing better, in dealing with office politics so that you survive in that environment. So we're going to actually give you wonderful classes that are going to assist you in getting the job, keeping the job, and going through the corporate ladder and getting raises and becoming extraordinary in that particular area, if that's your choice. Second one is entrepreneur. If you choose to be an agency, you're going to take the same core competency, and then what? Well, you got to know a little bit about legal, because you're going to need structure, right? A little bit about tax, because you got to take care of the books. You might have to have certain things like, sales, because you got to go out and pitch yourself, so you get that, that agent, you get the account. And those classes are critical to the agency, where the employee might not need them. Make sense? How about the speaker, trainer, coach? There are techniques that you'll need to know that will better you as a coach. There are things that will make you a better public speaker. There are actually classes that we can give you that are going to assist you on that particular path. So based on your path, you'll have different tactical classes that you'll have the opportunity to go through that'll help ensure your success. Is that amazing or what?
Yes.
That's what you guys have to look forward to. Coming up very quickly.
Cool.
The future? Man. Never again will there be a room this small. Or this hot. Whose idea was to have this in Phoenix in August? Michael, we got to talk to somebody. So, my role with Chris was pretty clear. I said, listen, dude, it's time to put the old band back together. So there were a lot of people that when the market crashed, and we actually ended up selling the company to somebody that is now operating out there under a different moniker. He's actually in internet marketing using a lot of our real estate education. And when we decided it just wasn't worth moving through it because nobody wanted to buy real estate, they were trying to get rid of the real estate they owned. A lot of the folks that were so wonderful and worked with us for so long, found other opportunities. But when we started making phone calls, and when we started saying, hey, we're thinking about doing this little internet marketing thing, and the same college concept, and ISD, and maybe eventually even going for the accreditation, and we really kind of think you'd be kind of fun to work with again. What do you think? Jack Holloway said yes. Chief Learning Officer, absolutely. Left his current position. 2 weeks later, he's on our doorstep. Daniel Silver said yes, our Chief Operations Officer. Pat Mickelson, our General Manager, said yes. Came to us. Steve Peterson, Compliance Director. Same Compliance Director we had for 14 years. Kept us clean as a whistle all that time, made sure that everything was straight, T's are crossed, I's are dotted, said yes. Michael Hamburger, our Chief Sales Officer, said yes. And so many more, I could keep going, said yes. So, I feel like we kind of put the old band back together, right? And we're ready to make some beautiful music. And I just feel blessed to have the opportunity to work on such an amazing product with amazing partners, Chris Record, and with the incredible people that I've met so far in this opportunity. It's been absolutely amazing. I look across the room and I see the smiles. Diane, we met earlier. We met, what?
Tell them. I saw them out there putting the license plate.
Oh, I gotta tell the story, because I'm the storyteller. Don't take my thunder. So I'm out there this morning because I ate, the plate came, and I got the plate and the registration, and I said, yeah, I should probably put that on there, Chris, so you don't get arrested again. He's already been pulled over once with the plate. So I'm out there with the screwdriver, and it's like, 7 in the morning, we're changing the plate. She comes over and goes, oh, hi, do you work with Mr. Record?
Do you know?
I said, yeah, I'm the janitor. Nice to meet you. But you know what's cool about Diana? She was so nice to me, even though I was the janitor.
She took your picture.
And then he says, no, this is who I am, Jim. And I, of course, recognized the name. I said, well, how come Chris isn't out here? He goes, he doesn't know how to handle one of these.
He doesn't know. He's really good with one of these, but not so good with one of these, right? So, I am. I'm meeting all kinds of people as I kind of slide around the back and try to get in the background because we got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving parts with wonderful people. Have a lot of fun. So, probably taking more time than should have.
You're absolutely.
But,
I wanted to ask you how much time you got.
How much time do I have?
Yeah.
I got to be back at 1:30. So I'm pretty good.
He's on his lunch break.
All right.
Yeah, except no lunch.